In the little village where I was born, life moved at a slower pace.
Okay.
My two uncles were known far and wide.
Okay.
Today we carry on their tradition in a manner that would make my uncles proud.
By making meth.
Yes, the old ways.
Yeah,
are still
quite a
best
metaphor
at Los
indeed.
Pollos Hermanos. But don't take
Oh.
my word for it.
Perfect. That was perfect. Repetition, repetition. See, this is the other side of the business that we have not seen yet. The distribution of the product. Oh, I love how that just syncs up with the music. Oh, that's a transition. Oh, this entire sequence is great. From like the little things of like giving them the stamp of like, yeah, this is how you know if it's in there or not. And off they go into the world. Is this Gus? Yeah. Great use of his silhouette as well.
One batch, one ship. Stop complicating things.
Back to the good old days. Bossing Jesse around.
$96 million.
Could have been 69, and it would have been nice.
That is messed up, yo.
It's very messed up.
You are now a millionaire. And you're complaining?
What is going on with you lately? What's happened to you?
Great shot of the spiraling staircase.
Hey! What's more important than money?
Great symbolism there. Things are spiraling. Not out of control just yet, but definitely about to.
Everybody.
Call me.
Hi, Marie. Is it okay if I visit?
Come on, Marie. Okay, good.
Closet.
What is it?
Waiting for a punchline here.
Asshole.
Man, he got you good.
I've been keeping an eye on that blue meth of yours. 6-7 weeks.
Yeah. Walter's reaction is definitely telling.
A Tina here and there, you know, strictly street level. Now.
Yeah, Skylar looking at Walter like,
1 minute before they attacked me, somebody called my cell and told me to expect it.
Love that we are focusing on Walter's reaction on all of this. The subtleties.
I had nothing to do.
Are we safe?
That is the question, isn't it? Are you sure, Walter? Are you sure?
Are you safe?
Oh.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Oh, that shot was great. Walter's side is empty in the car, in the parking lot, and then Skylar's like shadow kind of fills it in. That was great. That was great.
What about you?
Oh, we're back
Face
here.
looks better.
It's like rigid, all kinds of red tape. My boss is a dick. The owner's super dick.
Sounds kind of Kafkaesque.
Yeah,
Kafkaesque.
totally Kafkaesque. Majorly.
I don't think Jesse knows what Kafkaesque actually means.
Get well and best wishes from Ted Beneke and all the folks at Beneke Fabricators. Wow, he gives you all this time off. And now this. Get me a job there.
Well, she slept her way into getting all this, but
All right, now I want you to tell me if you can feel this.
oh no. Oh no.
How about now?
Really hoping that Hank does not get paralyzed.
Yeah, I feel a tingle.
Okay. Okay. 3.
4.
Close enough.
Yeah, still there, a little less,
I'm just really hoping that Hank is not lying in the situation, but like, why would you lie against a doctor, right?
He needs daily sessions, isn't that right?
Well,
Actually, your plan's treatment program covers 4 sessions a week.
Actually, she asked the doctor.
Ooh.
and the therapists in your network are mostly fine.
Mostly fine?
We're talking nursing care, modifications to your home, occupational therapy, medical equipment. It could run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Luckily, we know a person who has that kind of money.
I've seen patients and their families go bankrupt waiting to be reimbursed.
Skylar's definitely thinking about it. Thinking in regards to asking Walter for help. Yeah, had a feeling it's gonna be
Ladies, this is Jesse-san. He's in for the full treatment.
Tessie-san?
Look around, kiddo. It's all yours.
What?
Really now?
You are now the owner of this fine establishment.
Oh, I thought he just meant like he gets treatment here.
I ain't buying no damn nail salon, so just forget it.
But Jesse, it's not about the nail salon.
Here's you, right? Pinkman. Get it?
Okay.
You're out on the town. Yeah, you're partying hardy. You're knocking boots with the chickie babes. And oh, who's this? It's the tax man. And he's looking at you. Now, what does he see? He sees a young fella with a big fancy house, unlimited cash supply, and no job. Now, what is the conclusion the tax man makes? I take your dirty money and I slip it into the salon's nice, clean cash flow.
You know, I just realized that we really are just teaching people how to money launder. Like the basics of it.
So you want me to buy this place so I can pay taxes? I'm a criminal, yo. Right. So you can get your 5%.
I will say though that Jesse has been a voice of reason for this entire episode.
Come on, I'm talking to you about your future here. Listen to reason.
Funny I just said that. As Saul just says, listen to reason. Great shot using the mirror. Is this the first time Walter is going to this place? The farm?
How is your brother-in-law?
There are some issues that could cause a misunderstanding between us, and I think it's in our best interest to lay the cards on the table.
It's gonna be about the money, isn't it?
My brother-in-law,
Oh, right, duh.
I believe I was their prime target, but that somehow they were steered away from me to my brother-in-law. And yet, I think that this person was playing a much deeper game.
And that he does. Oh, his reaction.
In one stroke, he bloodied both sides, set the American and Mexican government against the cartel.
Walter pretty much got it.
The rewards would be enormous.
I love how silent Gus has been throughout all of this. Just letting Walter lay it all out.
We're both adults. I can't pretend I don't know that person is you.
Love the lighting. The two sides of each of these characters, right? Black and white.
In your position, I would have done the same. One issue, which troubles
Dude,
me.
the fact that Gus has not said anything is kind of making me nervous.
I want security for my family.
Then you have it. $3 million for 3 months. That was our agreement. Extended annually, $12 million a year. Call it 15.
It's a pretty good deal. What a scene. This is also just a representation of his thoughts. Steering off course. Wow. Walter, wake up. That was great. With the sunset. Beautiful.
Took this Votech class in high school, woodworking. I took a lot of Votech classes because it was just a big jerk off, but I figured I could cut classes for the rest of the semester and he couldn't flunk me as long as I, made the thing.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Is that the best you can do? At first, I thought to myself, hell yeah, bitch. Now give me a D and shut up so I can go blaze one with my boys.
I love the camera angle throughout this entire scene. Kind of like how we are actually in the scene and we're looking at him through the perspective of the other people.
I made another, then another. And by the end of the semester, by like box number 5, I had built this thing.
And you're proud of this thing.
You should have seen it. It was insane. So I sanded it for days until it was smooth as glass.
When you pour all your heart into one work.
I gave it to my mom.
Hmm.
I didn't give the box to my mom. I traded it for an ounce of weed.
Ouch. Oh. That shot was brilliantly done.
You'll burn through your savings and then what?
Hmm.
You said yourself that Elliot and Gretchen's money didn't cover everything.
Well, yeah, about that.
Hey, Sky.
Not the time. Not the time.
Marie, this is Ted, my boss. Oh, you're Ted. I've heard so much about you.
Skylar, why is your boss here? What is going on?
Come on in, Ted.
Okay.
We were just having some wine.
Nice to meet you too, Marie. Please give my best wishes to your husband.
I will.
Marie's like, yeah, okay, this is awkward. I'm not gonna be here. Bye-bye.
I care about you, that's all.
Ted, it's just this.
Wonder if Marie is like listening to all of this secretly.
I'm divorced, you're divorced, so what?
Let's talk about it later, Ted.
Skylar, just tell me
You really want to do this now? Are you really going to make me do this right now?
Tell him. Tell him. Tell him.
Wow. You're right. Bad idea to come here.
That was a great scene. Anna Gunn's acting. Beautiful.
Darth Vader had responsibilities. He was responsible for the Death Star.
True that. Two of them bitches.
Well, not really, but...
What the hell's up with that? That's messed up, yo. That's Kafkaesque.
They're like...
Church.
They're like, yeah.
All right, let's start slinging again. Booyah! Maybe I know a whole new market. Maybe all we need is the meth.
Yeah, you better keep an eye out on Jesse. He might take some, especially those that are over the intended weight.
Hey. The yield, come on.
Walter's probably, you know, he probably knows that. Wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. Badger?
Wow.
Not that blue stuff. Oh, sorry. I didn't raise my hand.
This is interesting marketing. Spreading the word.
That's the shame of it.
Nah, man.
These
Don't tell me
two,
that.
I hear it's back in town.
they're getting to them though.
Stay strong, brother. Stay strong.
There is a comedic irony in all of this.
Please, it's tens of thousands of dollars.
We have the money. More than enough. Walt earned it.
Skylar.
I think Marie should know the truth. He earned it gambling.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Walt and I, we've had our problems lately.
I love how Walter's expression is just like mine, like, oh, gambling. Yeah.
When Walt was diagnosed, it changed him.
I love how Walter changed his stance to a more relaxed stance of just like, I'm just gonna let her cook on this.
He was too proud to take what he considered to be charity.
Message of the story there.
Isn't that right?
Walter doesn't want to admit it, but
He did a whole bunch of research and he came up with this system.
A system.
A system.
What do you mean, like Rain Man?
Yeah.
Yes. Statistical.
So.
Yeah, exactly what you.
He lost $14,000.
Even Walter's like, I love his reaction. This entire scene is great. This is great. I love this scene. But the crazy thing is, like, replace gambling with like meth, and it's totally 100% Walter's like life story in general.
How much money?
A lot. 3 million.
It's into 7 figures.
Oh, Holy Mary, Mother of God.
What can I say? I did very well.
A very prideful man indeed. That's great.
How did you come up with that? Wait, where did you possibly?
I learned from the best.
Ooh. Yeah. Imagine if Marie told Hank about all of this and Hank just remembers about like that moment in time when he was taking the bag out of Walter's car and Walter just said, truthfully, yeah, that's like thousands of dollars in that bag. And he took it as a joke, thinking about it and going like, wait a minute, maybe that's not a joke. Another great episode of Breaking Bad, in my opinion. There's obviously more stuff at hand within this episode, new plot progressions, new character developments as well. Thinking back on the episode, I do believe that the Skylar story is probably one of my favorite scenes, not just of this episode, but the entirety of the show. I don't know, it's such a really fun scene where Walter's like bewilderment and dumbfoundedness of like the thought of Skylar actually making up all of these lies and him like, oh yeah, obviously that did happen. Yep. And it just kept going and going and going and it never ended, but it ultimately worked. I really enjoyed that scene a lot. I think it's one of the best moments of the show, in my opinion. It's one of the best Skylar moments of the whole show as well, and it also adds in a lot more development for her as a character. Really well done. Beyond that, of course, it's the Jesse therapy sessions, especially the part where he mentions about like this story that he had a long time ago of him making all of these craftsmanships, right? And how he started it out as like, yeah, I'll just do this like whatever and then just make it quick, but then ultimately he grew more fond of the craft and then he tried his best to create the perfect I guess work of art. But then ultimately the twist of like, yeah, he didn't really give it to his mother, he gave it to, you know, he sold it to buy weed and such. I think that was like a brilliant, not just a brilliant story and tale, but it's also like a really fun, you know, like wink wink nod of like, yeah, this is you can kind of apply it to the story of Breaking Bad, and that's usually how a lot of these things happen within the show. There's plenty of times where there are certain quote-unquote stories or metaphors and such that very much so describes the plot of Breaking Bad during that specific moment. And the Jesse subplot and the Jesse therapy session is one of those moments, in my opinion. It was really well done, especially when the description of like how everything feels Kafkaesque, which now that I have seen the title of the episode, which is Kafkaesque, I think it pretty much yeah, it totally works. It totally applies within the episode itself. Kafkaesque being a state of like unpleasantness or worry or basically something nightmarish based upon like the fictional works of Franz Kafka. Kafka's like one berserk. But really fascinating stuff. Really fascinating stuff. But overall, yeah, really enjoyed this episode a lot. I do love how a lot of the things that were set up in the previous 2 seasons are now kind of getting molded and being, prepped and worked together nicely within this episode. Like all of these little things that happen in the past of like from the very beginning, like such as like Walter getting thrusted into all of this mess, which will ultimately lead to him being able to help Hank. Well, let's not kid ourselves, Hank will not be in this situation if not for the fact that Walter, got roped into all of this. But still though, it's these little moments and little plot developments of how some of the things that were set up, some of these chess pieces are being moved, and now we are seeing like the outcomes, the results of Walter's hard work, or I guess in other words, his sacrifice. Like he talked a lot about, yeah, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for you guys, even though he's like pushing people away and such. But now we're actually seeing like some of those hard work actually being put on display and actually being used to help his family, like especially with Hank. And while I know that Skylar is very much against all of this, like that is her principle to begin with, but the fact that she had no other choice but to, yeah, I have no other choice to do this. Like I need to use the money. Like I hate to admit it, but I'm glad that you actually made some money and we can actually use it for good use. And I do believe that there is a limit on like how much Skylar is willing to forgive Walter until a point is reached where Skylar's like, yeah, I had enough. Okay, this is all fun and games. Like, I was helping you, I was defending you all throughout. Like, I even played your little game by actually, taking the money and such. But there will come a time where enough is enough. And I do feel like that is inevitable. It's just a matter of like, when will that boiling point be finally reached? I mean, we kind of reached it like a couple of episodes ago when when Skylar pretty much fucked Ted, right? But that's just like a form of retaliation that ultimately made her go, actually, you know what, hang on, let's back up a bit. I was being very emotional at the time because I still do love my husband, former husband, divorced and such. But still though, there is care for Walter, right, within Skylar, even if it is mere proxy just to save Hank. You can definitely tell that Skylar still absolutely loves Walter despite it all. I mean, the fact that she asked Walter if he is safe kind of sent chills down my spine because, like, he's not really safe, like when she asked that and then the ominous music kicks in, Walter giving her a reassuring answer of like, yes, absolutely, I'm safe, even though we know for sure that he is not. And I think Skylar also knows that it's not, but I want to say that she chose to believe his words because the thought of him not being safe, which means that the family isn't actually safe, isn't something that you want on your mind right now. So I would even want to say that she is actually trying to fool herself into thinking that she is safe, even though obviously she's not safe. We know they're not safe at all. It's only a matter of time before safety goes off the window. I do want to say that I think it's also worth mentioning that Jesse's drive for the most part has been the fact that he is usually the one receiving the other end of the stick. He has usually been the character that gets the worst part out of the other main characters. Like, if we compare him to Walter White, if we compare him to even here, Saul Goodman, most of these characters are taking advantage of Jesse, and while they give him something, it's usually not enough out of respect of what Jesse had done for all of them. You know, like, they are never equal. Most of the time, Jesse just wants to be an equal, right? He wants to be an equal to Walter White. Obviously, that is not going to happen because of Walter White's character and his pride and how he always sees Jesse as somebody beneath him. And while obviously it's kind of the formula of the Breaking Bad story where you have this on and off relationship between Jesse and Walter where they are buddies, they are partners, and then they have a falling off, but then they realize they need each other again, but then they became buddies again, and then they have a falling off again, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. But it is with each passing time that it becomes worse and worse and worse, especially for Jesse, where if you break him too far, then he's gonna start doing his own thing. Like, even in this episode, you clearly see him defying many people, going, nope, I am going to do my own thing. Slowly but surely, I mean, to the point where at the end of the episode, we see him trying to take a bit of a percentage off of the blue meth that they are creating and spreading it out on their own, like becoming his own distributor. And I think it's perfect for Jesse's character to become more and more independent as the story continues. I really love this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode as well. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction and my review discussion. If you do, hit the like, subscribe as usual, share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I would love to read all of them. No spoilers, please. And I will see you all next time for the next episode of Breaking Bad. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.